Hi guys, welcome to another beautiful game from the Chessite Monthly October edition. This is round 4. This is played between Femi, who's playing the white pieces, against ONUOHA, who's defending with the black pieces. I was already carried away with the beautiful moves I've seen on the board, starting from the opening to this moment, before I remember that I should actually record this game and show it to you guys. So here we are from this position. It is white to play. I'm going to start the clip and we're going to follow along with the 2D board by the side, taken from leechess.org. Then we are going to enjoy the two views and follow along, then learn some strategic movement of the pieces, tactical ideas, then positional play, and so on and so forth. So I believe you will pick something nice from this video. So let's hit right into it. I started the clip. You notice the clip has no sound. Well, it's intentional to avoid copyright issue from other sound, maybe phone rings, or moreover passers-by play music, to avoid all those stuff. In subsequent videos, I will try to put in sound. However, I'm going to cut out some part that may end up maybe bringing copyright. Well, in the meantime, let's enjoy the beautiful view from the games and the moves. So I'm going to try as much as possible to share experiences of what I feel and I see on the board when they make their move. I may not be as strong as they are, but I'm sure my commentaries might add to the knowledge you have to better your own chess games. So it is white to play and Mr. Femi is playing the white pieces. Let's wait for him to make his move. Then we follow along with the 2D board by your left hand side. So he's trying to think and brainstorm. In the meantime, I cannot see any breakthrough on the board. The both parties have castled their king to the side. White has castled the king side. Black has castled the king side. The kings are looking pretty safe. The two parties are preparing to storm the opponent's king side, you know. For you to make checkmate, you have to attack the king side, yes. But strategically, what are the ideas employed? So, from Mr. Femi's angle, thinking as white, what do you think he will come up with? The center is okay. If you try to break from the center, you're just going to cause issue for white, because now this rook is situated here against the queen. So he has made his move. He has played bishop. Wow. Why bishop? Why? Well, let's see. What did Mr. ONUOHA do in this position? Well, could we say take pawn? Take pawn, knight is there, queen is there. No go area. Where else again can we look at? Well, Mr. ONUOHA maneuver is knight. He played knight move. Wow. Knight to f8. Okay. Wow. Can we guys see what's going on here? There is now a loophole in this particular square. That's the f4 square. So he wants to bring the knight into the game via this route, and knight, queen comes in, strategically, and pressure along the king side. What to do? We are expecting and we are waiting patiently. This is the time where strategy speaks. In this case, in this position, Mr. Femi pushed the pawn forward. He wants to lock the center. Any trade that happens in the center favors him at the moment, because we have 3 pieces, in fact 4 pieces towards that square. So Mr. ONUOHA played this move anyway, going for his king side maneuvers. Well, this is a game of two titans. Just to freshen your memories, Mr. Femi has won his games, and now he's meeting Mr. ONUOHA, who has actually done well with his 3 games too. He has won 3 games. Mr. Femi is on 3 in this tournament. Now, Mr. Femi bring back the bishop, putting eye on this square, spotting those 2 knights. The knights are dangerous. Knights are unpredictable. They can cause nightmare. The way they hop on the board is very crazy, and unexpectedly, they can just tear down your position. Look at what Mr. ONUOHA is doing, arranging the knights again, still pressuring that f4 square. What is going on here? Can Mr. Femi survive this attack? What I'm saying is straightforward. Queen comes, queen stays on g6, pressures and pins the pawn with some nice knight maneuver. I think Mr. Femi has moved. He has played bishop. Great. Going for one of the strongest piece in from the black camp. Wow. This is a nice one. Are you seeing what's going on here? He's going for weakening the attacking force from black's perspective. This pawn was actually pinned before, so a way to unpin is bringing the bishop here, defended by the rook and the pawn. So what did he play next? Now the queen has joined in coming towards the white king. Well, let me chip out something to you. I have suffered a lot of tension with this kind of position too in my own games. Well, what most players do, or what experienced players do, is they position their pieces to wait for you to make an error move or a mistake. I'm going to show it to you. See, there's a pawn capture there. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. Now, the reason why I was saying what I was saying earlier was that, you see this bishop is coming towards the square. This queen now pressures this knight, in the sense that this queen, white queen, is defending the knight at the moment, supported by the pawn. What just happened on the board? Is there a move? Is there a move? I don't think there is yet. So I was too busy talking about the game. So if the queen leaves, bishop takes pawn, pawn takes, removing the defender of the knight, and queen will take. Then opens the defense of the white king. Those have happened to me in the past. So are we going to see something like that here? Then any of these two knights are coming to f4. Any of the two knights is coming to f4. So let's see what happens here. What do you think will happen in this position? Well, it is nice to note that since pressure might be on g2, king to h2 is an idea. It's an idea. It's possible. Then we need to find a good square for this rook and this knight. For now, they are not helping in this game at all. White is not using them. So what do you think Mr. Femi will do from here? Let's see. You're waiting patiently. These are the kind of plays I need to cut out from this video. So for the purpose of our time, the time they played with and they are playing on currently, to have a 9 synced timing, I need to cut it reasonably. So you are going to see some jumps soon, because this their thinking period is actually wasting time. I won't lie to you. So, but with what you are seeing, none of the players are in a haste to make their moves. Most of you believe that playing on the board and playing online is the same thing. Online experience to OTB are actually different. Totally different. You might be on your phone playing classical games or long time format and not have this kind of experience. You might even be drinking, eating while playing classical with your phone. But you see, OTB, you dare not remove your eyes. There was a time I was playing with my opponent and I just blinked. He made this move. I thought the arrangement I had will still work. Well, it did not work for me. I lost that game. But here, Mr. Femi and Mr. ONUOHA eyes are glued to the board. Standard. This is how classical games are played. Full focus, full attention. So it is Mr. Femi to play. We're waiting for him to make his move. His clock lever is up, so we can just detect that he's the one to play. Meanwhile, on the board, can we say Mr. ONUOHA have dominated the king side? The ninth, the ninth, the ninth, the ninth. Jeez, bishop, Abba, queen again. White needs to be careful. Mr. Femi needs to be extremely careful. So, what did he do? I think of this move, probably king away or king away. Since pressure is coming on J2, then if you move this queen, and if you just move the queen like this, any move you make here, bishop takes pawn is coming, because Mr. ONUOHA is not going to take it easy on breaking down the defense of the white king's fortress. So, what are we looking at here? Then knight going over to the square, attacking the bishop. Yeah, but we have a bishop to bishop already there now. Then at the same time, you know, knight at the corner, not too active. Or do you think he's going to push pawn? Do you think pawn push is a good idea? Well, let's wait for him to make his move. Pawn push, pawn push, bishop. Hmm. He's met with, or pawn push he met with this bishop. But the bishop is doing a nice job here. So let's say pawn push can be met with pawn push, locking up and creating weakness in the center. It depends. It depends. Or pawn push here starts trying to hunt this. The knight is faster, a4. So he's about to make his move. Now he made his move. Wow, wow. Moving knight to a4, going after the bishop. Let me quickly put it into you that if Mr. ONUOHA did not attend to this threat right away, Mr. Femi will grab an extra pawn with the following variation. Let's take, for example, he goes on with his plan with knight hopping over. Or let's say this knight rather coming over. Yeah. It's possible. Then bishop takes, pawn takes, you see knight takes. But I think Mr. ONUOHA has made his move. Let's go back. Yeah, after this move, Mr. ONUOHA actually played bishop takes bishop. After this move, he takes with the bishop. What goes on here? So you should. Wow. So Mr. Femi took with the rook instead. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to scatter his pawn formation in this king side. So now we can see knight moving over. Yeah, to f4. Why? Why? So let's wait for Mr. Femi to make his move. Then moves his king away. You know, adding one more defender to the pawn on h3. The rook is still there. This rook is still inactive. Now knight is in the corner. Let's see how that knight will come back into the game. That knight needs to join back this activity in this game. Sure. We need the knight back. So what are we looking at here? One of the pieces doing a nice job in this position for white is this knight. Yes. If not for this knight, in fact, the knight and this pawn, let me be straightforward. The knight covers this square, pawn covers this square. If not, I believe knight sacrifice leads a promising winning variation. Knight sack, pawn takes, knight come again, bishop is there. Can you see it? So this knight is in a nice job plus this pawn, stopping this queen from easily penetrating into the defense and breaking the white defense. Who knows? A queen and a knight closer to your king. You need to take caution. You need to be extremely careful and prepared to disconnect that relationship. These are tips that you should employ in your own games too. It's not really that easy, but you must try to discover when strong pieces, major pieces are towards your own king, trying to bring your defense down. These are understandings that you need to just know subconsciously when playing chess. Now it pushes through the center. What happens? So I believe you are following. The video is buffering. It's slow. You need to have a closer look of that clock. Yeah. I think maybe work on that clock and see if you can bring it more closer to your views. Okay. So let's wait patiently for this move. Gradually, the middle game is converting to an end game. Gradually. But we are still very much in the middle game because for me, I can say we still have the queens on the board. Then we have more pieces on the board. So Are we going to see an end game where the queens are going to fight or the rook are going to fight against each other? So what's going on? Okay, there are some movement I can see. What just happened there? Yes, yes. Okay, there was a knight move. Knight moved, yes, with the intention of pawn takes, opening this. I take knight takes. Now, rook attacks. This attacks the queen. So if rook goes, this comes with check first. Then this happens. It's possible to have this variation. However, in the game, let's see what happens. So it was after this knight move, then I made that variation. Okay, let's see. I think there's a pawn push attacking the rook. Then the rook came back, and now we have this rook lift followed by the queen. So that's what we have currently now. So just pardon the buffering. We just have to bring the position to your present screen. It is okay. It's black to play now. Black is trying to figure things out. Okay, so that's black in person of Mr. Noha is thinking it through. He's working on it. What are his plans there? Is he planning the king side attack, which is sacrifice? Do you think it will work? And he goes for it. Now the queen is not defending this knight anymore from this diagonal. Mr. ONUOHA spots a take of pawn. This is his tactical idea coupled with his strategy. Now this is what he does. If pawn takes right away, because king cannot take, the knight was defended by the bishop, then this leaves the knight, the pony, undefended. So how can you defend now against this pawn here? Things are going down. If you try, I don't think you can try anything solid here. What do you want to do? Let's make some random move. Maybe you bring rook here, trying to stop maybe knight move and pressure here. Then you're going to fall instantly to queen takes pawn, and that is a checkmate. It should be a checkmate. Yes, the king has nowhere to go. So you see, you can also apply this idea in your own games too. What to do? What did Mr. Femi do? How did he address the situation? What did he want to do? He wants to move something. This is wow. He moved the knight. There was a knight move. So that was a pawn, a giveaway, or was it a free pawn, just like that? Well, let me address something quick. Let's put in mind that this bishop is a strong bishop, although it's almost at the corner of the board. But you see, this bishop having this full diagonals to itself makes it a strong bishop. Now there's a move on the board, and that's knight move. Great. The bishop pins the pawn to the king. The bishop is not really doing much. No. and this pin is not really doing much. However, if there's a rook coming to attack the queen on that file plus the diagonal, that smells trouble against the black king. You see, learn strategy too that you can use in your game. These are the things that these players are looking out in this game. When the when files and diagonals are clear, they can launch attack utilizing some known tactics. Those simple tactics, they are going to capitalize on it. So in this position now, the knight has been kept safe. The king is still doing well at the corner of the board. However, the knight is too close, the queen is too close, the bishop is coming. How did Mr. Femi survive this attack? I keep asking that question because it's just under pressure. He's just under pressure there in the king side. So what to do next? Mr. Femi wants to find a way to neutralize that threat on his king side and create some breathing spaces for his king. What is he trying to push? His hand is going towards the king side, so I'm looking at him maybe thinking of pushing this pawn so that he will kick away the knight. King can run to g2 for safety and so on. Then rook can have this almost open file for the rook, and he does that. Pawn to g3. He kicks pawn to g3, attacking the knight. Where should the knight go to? Now, if we look at positions like, ouch, look at solid positions. Knights have this square. Yeah, it's possible. Knights have this square. Yeah, we have this square also for the knight because it's defended by the bishop. But what is the issue with this particular square? Why is that square not too good? Why? You think there's a problem with that square? Well, for now, I see that square being safe. I see it being safe. Yeah. So, oh, let's not forget this square also. Yeah, that square is doing well. It's okay there. Then king follows to g2. That can be possible. Hmm. I'm waiting for white to make his move. Hmm. Sorry, we're waiting for, yeah, it's black. Mistake. We're waiting for black to make his move. What's going on here? Was it possible? Yeah, I think saving that knight is one of the uh yeah, one of the main move for now. Or let's say knight to h3, knight to h3, knight to g5. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Waiting for the move. Okay. So he stretches his hands and he made his move. That's moving the ninth. Knight just moved to h3 under the defense of the bishop. What can you pick up from here? There is king g2, rook h1. Thinking of two pieces for a rook. Now he throws his hand and reach out to the king. Yeah, I think he has similar concept in mind. He has moved the king. Wow, wow, wow. If this knight leave, this pawn is in trouble. Oh, Mr. Nona mobilized the bishop, treasures the bishop with the intention to take with the queen. Check. Well, how do you neutralize here? Knight. A counter attack. Saves the knight, attack the bishop. Now, these two pieces are in trouble. If care is not taken, one of them are going down in this position. How did Mr. ONUOHA survive with this counter attack move? I'm seeing him going for the knight. Wow, and he plays the knight. Knight to g5. Why knight to g5? If knight takes the bishop, then queen check, king moves that to this square or here. If it is here, oh yeah, let's say here for example, then it takes the knight. What a tactics! What a tactics! Or is there something better? Is there something better? Okay, where were we? This was the last move. Who is to play white? What did he play? He launches pawn. Yeah, creating more pressure for black. Can black survive this? One of those pieces are falling down. Knight attacks the bishop that has no defender. This pawn comes up to attack the knight. The knight is the main focus because if pawn takes, reinforcing the attack on the knight. If the knight moves, maybe goes home, the knight just picks up the bishop. That is one solid variation Mr. ONUOHA is thinking. In this position, also after the pawn takes, knight goes home, there can be an attack here, attacking the knight, attacking the queen and the rook. So where do you put the queen? If you defend the bishop, the rook is gone. You see? What an idea. What a chess move. In fact, that move, I never expect to see it, but this is a move coming from Mr. Femi in the round 4 of the Chesside Monthly October edition. Well, how did Mr. ONUOHA finish up in this position? Let's look for counter plays. Let's look for a way to save both pieces. The first idea that will come up is to make a check first, then move the knight. Is that possible? That's valid. You push check, you move the knight to safety. Is an idea. You push check, king moves, then knight goes here. It's also a concept. Let's see. Now we are seeing check on the board. Good. Where would this king go to? The king has to be somewhere safe and defended too. Well, this is okay. This is okay. So Mr. Femi has to choose between the two squares. Mr. Femi's choice, king to h1. He taps the clock, waiting for Mr. ONUOHA to make his decision. Knight home. I think that should be the move, man. That should be the move. Once the knight move, this knight can come back into the game via this square. Then we have a knight going, with freedom. But these players are racking their brain, come up with creative ideas. So what's going on? What do you do? As black, what will you play? I'm trying to see what is causing that buzzing sound. It's a buzzing sound I'm hearing here in this in this place. Okay, knight goes home to safety. Mr. Femi has successfully neutralized the threat on his king side. If you don't know what it is called, that is what it is called, neutralization. Those pieces coming at the king, we are putting pressure on him before, making it look tough and tight for him to make solid decision with the king. But now he has pushed them away. Mr. ONUOHA is the one running back. Now there's a pawn push attacking the knight again. So moving them away with these simple pawn moves are nice. In this position, you will discover that the bishop is now out of square. Mr. ONUOHA makes this move going back, and you can see that first of all, Mr. Femi focused on the king safety. Every move he made was not only to keep the king safe, but also to attack the enemy attacking force, cutting them and reducing them from the pressure on himself. These are what you should look out for when playing chess games. When you are thinking on the board, nobody should pressure you on what to do and decision to make. Take your time to draw out conclusion on the best move you can make. So now Mr. Femi brings back the knight to the game via that f3 square. This bishop is out of available squares. That bishop is now in trouble. I suggest in this position there should be bishop moves so the bishop can go home. But I saw bishop, knight moves, then bishop goes back, then pawn push. This traps the bishop. This is the variation that traps the bishop. But in this position here, Mr. ONUOHA chooses to play knight move. So it's time for Mr. Femi to make his move. Mr. Femi goes for the ultimate attack. Now he's the one attacking with initiative. He plays knight going to f2, attacking the bishop. Hola! The bishop is trapped. Bishop has lesser squares. How can Mr. ONUOHA handle this? Look at Mr. ONUOHA's expression on his face. Now he's feeling bad. He has actually played into a counter play where Mr. Femi now is having the initiative and has ended up trapping one of his strong attacking force, which is the bishop. Good. So now, if it is you, what will you do? If you take the bishop back, the bishop will be captured for free and there's an attack on your queen. So in this position, do you take pawns and have this? It's up to you, because this is a strong piece over pawns. It's a strong attacking force. Let me put it that way to you. You should not allow it to be captured for free. Yeah. So instead of just going like that, being captured, you can take something. Even the thing may not be too standard and equal to the value, but you can take something at least to have a little compensation for just losing the bishop. So on the board, we see that move. Bishop takes the pawn, pawn takes, and queen takes. This is the position we have now on the board. Now the queen is centralized. However, not too centralized enough, because forces around the queen that can help the queen achieve mates and some decisive win are no more surrounding it. At the moment the queen attack the knight, what do? Do you take the knight away to attack the queen, or you play something spectacular? Mr. Femi came up with a conclusion and went for queen. In this position, Mr. Femi has a bishop. Mr. ONUOHA has 2 pawns. So that's like 1 pawn, 1 point higher in this particular game. So queen exchange might favor that person that has more attacking forces on the board. So in this position, we can see queen takes queen. That might go well. Queen takes queen. Then I think knight taking might be good. There is nothing like this because rook will just take it. Knight takes is nice, putting pressure on this pawn. This pawn is still pinned, and you cannot instantly defend this pawn in the center. It's like a weakness at the moment. So that is a variation we can consider. Then what we need to also look at now is this. Taking the queen off the board gives you more reason to think further and have clear plan against your opponent. It has been said in the famous quote that a single pawn up against your opponent, or in a game of two grandmasters, a pawn up, a single pawn advantage is enough to win the game. It's possible. I have fallen victim of that, and I'm telling you out of experience. If you have your opponent just one pawn, that is, you captured one pawn from your opponent or 1 point higher than your opponent, you can still try to win that game. So in this game that we are watching currently, let's see if Mr. Femi can convert his 1 pawn advantage to win. Yeah. So we have pawn 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. Well, it was a piece that went out over 2 pawns. Well, let's continue the game and see what happens afterwards. The pawns are just there and they are the soul of the game, according to a famous chess grandmaster. It may not be easy to convert at this point. Well, what did Mr. ONUOHA choose? Did he go for queen takes queen, or he went for a different concept entirely? Let's watch and see. As he's thinking, trying to make decision, let's find out what he could play and continue with. The squares around this king side are almost taken by white pieces. Look at ninth covers. Ninth covers this square, so there's no check of any sort. Ninth covers this square, ninth covers this square. So only available square you can check from and try to create some tension or fear in white camp is this square h5. And you can not go back home as well because the bishop covers that diagonal. Then we have queen going to f6, which is nice. Then queen takes queen is also an option. For now, do you think you can advise him to play this pawn? That's a bad move because if you push the pawn, queen takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, another pawn is falling in the center. And that's, that's massive. Let's not forget that rook is almost trapped. Almost trapped. The knight covers the rook from going back home. So this move again is also a dangerous move coming up soon. What to do? He's been storming. He's trying to figure it out here. Queen takes queen. I'm not seeing queen takes queen here. If this queen leaves the board, it will be tough for black to hold on to positions. Looking at one bishop against pawns. I think it's the bishop against pawns now. The bishop against 2 pawns. Against 3 pawns rather. He wants to still stay on this particular rank, the 5th rank. If he leaves that 5th rank to anywhere, he can still stay here, yeah. But can you see? Okay, this is undefended. It will not happen. The pressure is on this pawn. But throwing knight is also possible. You see? Queen to f6. Knight moves instantly. Attack the queen and the rook. Yeah. That's there. We saw a move on the board, and that's queen check. Mr. Femi reaches for his king. Moves the king away. Now he brings the knights back into the game. What do we see? Mr. Femi spots an idea. 9 takes, pawn takes is okay. Now 9 takes, queen takes, 9th fork happening live. Now he takes it. Wow. He takes it. If pawn take, I believe he can. It's still okay here from this position. Then Mr. Femi can just mobilize the queen, going after this knight and this square. Well, that's one variation. There's this variation too. Attacking the rook. Rook. Then rook follows. But what happened in the game? Let's see. We are in this position currently. I think taking with the pawn is best here. What do you think? For now, taking with the pawn is okay. Taking with the pawn opens up attack to the queen. Queen leaves, queen penetrates with check. And this can happen. Wow. In fact, I just saw something. Attack. Okay, I think it will come here instead. And that's nice. Well, what happened in the game? Let's see. The game has played on. 9th takes, queen takes, and Mr. Femi plays this fork attack over the board. The queen moves, he took with the queen. Now he's trying to move and he moves the queen over. The pressure now is on the pawn on f7. Wow. This is beautiful. See chess. Let's go back a little and talk about this position once again. From here, if the pawn are taken, can we see rook attack? If it comes here, oh, okay. Queen takes is okay. Pawn cannot take because of the pawn is pinned. Okay. I think this variation is fine from here. Well, we did not see that. Let's get back into the game. What happened was this happened. Then after queen, he played rook defending f7. What would come to my mind too is to take advantage of the h7 by bringing the bishop here. Bishop maneuver. However, Mr. Femi played it in a hurry. Mr. Noah saw a defense with pawn push attacking the queen. Nice. Queen to e4. King unpins the pawn. I think the both players are under some kind of pressure. Of the time. He plays the rook. Now, pawn push, attacking the queen. He guessed it right. That's a square. Queen to h4 is coming. An incoming battery on that file. That's the idea. Attacking. The way to defend is pawn push. If you remove this rook, it's still an idea, yeah. It's still possible. Even pawn push is possible too. So Mr. Now went for this idea with pawn push. So neutralizes all. Rook to d1 pins the pawn to the queen with the intention to play pawn to c3. If pawn to c3, okay, let's say Oh, Mr. ONUOHA went for a concept, pushing the pawn. Yeah. So if pawn to c3 now, you can stop it with pawn push. So queen moves, going for exchange of queens. He moved the ninth. He declined. So with the idea of, let's say, is there any idea here? No big idea though. The knight attacks the bishop. Simple. If knight takes bishop, he defends the queen. So white must be careful. Now white has played a move. Bishop moves. Here, king moves, gathering more spaces and unpinning from this location. When the knight came, queen pins the queen. Well, can you see what I'm saying? In this position here, although it might look somehow, but there is no sound sacrifice. There is none. Bishop cannot take. It's a free one. Queen check. King will just run. So then this approach is coming. I'm not saying pawn push immediately because there can be a bishop neutralizing the threat. There is this threat, an attack. Yeah. So in this position, Mr. Femi played king moves. Now Mr. ONUOHA played the rook down. Now he played rook. The both are trying not to get flagged. The time on the clock is around, let me see, around 2. Less than 3 minutes, sha. Around 2 now. Mr. ONUOHA played the rook. Concept coming up. Queen to g5, pins the pawn, preparing to take the pawn with the bishop. Queen to g5 will say this pawn is now pinned. We have to be very careful, or let me say black has to be very careful here. Not a big deal of being careful, but he has to be careful too. Yeah. Bishop takes pawn is coming. Just move your king. Put your king on the square. What to do. I think that's the move that solves it. Yeah, I think he's going for it. And he found it. Chess. You need to be patient with chess. You need to be extremely patient. Chess in itself is patience. Patient and calculate. It's just that you should not be too patient because of the kind of time format you are playing. Now, Mr. Femi goes for a check, trying to penetrate. Find a way to enter. There was check, moves, check. Okay. I think the moves are happening fast. Check. Wow. Mr. Femi and Mr. Obioma choose to end in a draw after this perpetual checks. So thank you for watching this video. I believe if Mr. Femi had pushed harder here, there might be a win for him in this position. Who knows? Well, will you be present in the next edition of Chess Height Monthly, which happens in November? It's going to happen in the first, pardon me, this sound, I don't know where it's coming from. It's going to happen in the first Saturday of November. So I'll be there. Will you be there? Will you love to get location and address and flyer? So if you are interested in joining in the next edition of the Cheshire Monthly, drop a comment in the comment section below and I will respond to you as quick as possible. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to share to your friends.